All right, here is a very warm welcome. Devang here from the Financial Analyst, and I want to make a very small post-market analysis video about what happened in the markets today. Today was the monthly expiry, and officially, we are now entering the May series from tomorrow. So it has been a very wild month. The last 2 months have been difficult, have been wild, have been quite sideways, and some kind of direction is about to emerge in the market. So let's talk about everything. But before I get started, make sure you like this video and comment on this video and subscribe to this channel if you're new. So last night around 12 o'clock, I posted a video and I said that, the data is becoming bullish. I also told you that 14,880, even on Telegram yesterday, I said that 14,880 is a flip zone. If you're below that region, you might have selling pressure coming again and again. But if you are above 14,880, do not try to be short in the market for a very long period of time because they're not going to sustain longer. And exactly that happened today. I hope you have benefited from that video. Let me know in the comments section below. So today, one very interesting thing is that we have closed. If you see the closing prices on the top, today's closing is 14,894, right? That's the closing that we've got after the last 30 minutes averaging out. And it's the first time we have closed above 14,880 after the date of 16th March. So in the last 1.5 months, we have never ever closed above this 14,880 level. And today is the first day that we've closed above 14,880. Now that's a very, very good signal. Now, but is that conclusive evidence that we are going higher? It's not like that. I always tell people we should follow a rule of two. When I say rule of two, it means that I need two closings above a particular level for me to cement a particular direction, for me to be concrete about the direction. So a couple of points I want to talk about, then I'll get into what happened in the market today. So if you look at the charts of Nifty, we had, a candle going on the daily chart. We had a candle going above this area. But, you can see only one candle was above. There were not two candles. So when you have two candles above a particular trend line resistance, that is a concrete breakout. Let me show a very, very simple example to this concept so that everyone can benefit and everyone can be, quite sure about the direction of the markets. So if you see this example, this is the charts of PVR, and you can see over here that this was a very stiff resistance, 1420, right? And PVR on 9th of December broke out convincingly with good volume. Now, over here, you can see very, very clearly that only one day markets went up, and after that market started to come down. Ignore this example. See this example also. You can see that markets have a stiff resistance here at 1370 levels. One candle went up, the other candle came down. So what I'm trying to say is that if you get 2 or 3 candles consecutively above a resistance, that can be regarded as a concrete breakout. But if only one candle breaks out, it's also possible the other candle goes down. So last example to make you all understand the concept is this over here. We had a very good resistance. You can see a lot of rejections coming in over here at the levels of 1140. And the moment 1140 was broken, that's a good signal. But when two candles closed above that, rule of two gets satisfied, means that the sellers are covering. They do not want to be interested in shorting the market, and buyers, so shorts cover and the buyers take the market higher. So I want you to try to use the same logic in Nifty as well. Today was expiry, so we were expecting a sideways day. I'll show you our messages on Telegram also in some time. And today, not a very convincing closing for the bulls, but yes, something is better than nothing. We have closed above 14,880. So we did make a very good intraday low of 14,800 approximately. I think today's low was 14,814. So in spite of such going so low, we have closed above 14,880. So I think that's a good win. So we also went above 15,000 levels, but could not sustain. So let's talk about all of that before I get started. So in the pre-market report that I sent on Telegram, our team that they sent, we said that, SGX currently, so we sent it about 8:30 a.m. and we'll do this now going forward. So if you're not subscribed to our Telegram channel, it's free of cost. You can always, join us and enhance your knowledge and get better confirmations about what you're doing. And be on the right side of the market. So our link to the Telegram channel is TFA Investments. Let's try to reach 6,000 subscribers by today or tomorrow. That would mean a lot. Let's try to do that. And so today morning, I said that SGX Nifty is around 15,040 levels. We have HUL, Titan, Bajaj Auto results coming up, and you saw how these companies started moving during the markets when the results were coming. So just wanted to make you alert that these results are coming. And we also, I believe today we have the exit polls, so that is going to impact the market. So I want you all to track SGX Nifty in the evenings to find out what is the impact of the exit polls on the market, because that will determine the direction. Elections is a big event. It is something not to be ignored. Tomorrow we have Reliance results. After the market, obviously any big company always posts results after the market, so that Monday will open a gap up, gap down, depending upon how Reliance results are, as well as the Nifty energy sector will depend upon how the Reliance, the big guy, will be posting earnings. So keep a track on that tomorrow evening. So today I said that 11,880 is a flip zone for us. And if you are in shorts, that is a stop loss. So that's the reason why I didn't carry any shorts today, because yesterday we already touched 1480 on the intraday basis. And that's why today markets opened with a good 150, 100 points gap up. That's the exact reason why I told you the significance, even yesterday's video, about this level of 14,880. So I said, above 14,880, I am not planning to go short. I am in a buy on dip market. We all made it very clear. Our team made it clear in the video yesterday. And we said that I'll be buyer on dip. And 15,000 has massive open interest. That will be a hurdle for today. It's a big round number, monthly expiry. So no one was expecting markets to be above 15,000 closing. We did make a good intraday high. We spent some time, about 15, 20 minutes there, but it could not sustain. This is the beauty of monthly expiries. I hope this update had helped you. A lot of amateur traders, they think expiry is any normal event and they go long in the market when 15,000 was broken. But I hope now you're able to understand what the mistake was. So I also said that we will see selling pressure coming in due to the expiry rate moves around 15,000. We did get that a good 200-point dip in the market. And one very important message I sent was that if we gap up above 15,000, we will see more short covering. And we haven't really seen that short covering, but it will start to happen maybe from tomorrow. Let's observe that. So I think today we opened around 14,890. Sorry, we opened around 14,979. That was the opening. So we closed below 15,000. That's the reason why we were not going aggressive long when the markets opened. I would have gone aggressively long on the gap up if we opened above 15,000, but that didn't happen. So I said, personally, let's continue the stock specific action. Markets are volatile. We will be seeing intraday corrections, and I will take a part only below 14,880. So, and two closings above 14,880 will cement a move, what I explained today. Himalaya also gave you a lot of updates about Bank Nifty. I hope you benefited from that. And he made some really good money. Hats off to Himalaya for his analysis. And hopefully a lot of people in Discord made some good money on that. We had a very good opportunity on the short side in the morning, which you were alerted on Discord. And Discord is only available to our mentorship clients. So in the early mornings, we had a very good inside candle setup over here. This is one of the best setups that I like. We had a very big fall from 15,000 levels as discussed. We had a halt candle, and when the low of the halt candle broke, put a very small 20-point SL, and we got a good 4:1 trade in the morning on our private groups there. That was a great entry that we benefited out of. So going forward, we touched 14,800. I sent this very important message. I said that selling pressure is coming with 15,000, which we have discussed, because it has massive OI. However, on the downside, 14,800 will be, you will not be closing below that. It has a good open interest. So today's range will be 14,800 to 15,000, and exactly that played. So if you were an option seller, you would have made benefit of that. Let me know in the comments if you made benefit of that. Good spreads should have been put into the markets. If you haven't sent your screenshots, do send it to our Instagram handle. That way we can keep a track of the performances that you have been doing. One very important message was, Himalaya was guiding about Bank Nifty. We gave you a range of Bank Nifty, and when that range broke, you could have gone short and long depending upon what you were doing. And I'll come to the charts later. Himalaya also gave you a trade on Nalco, a national aluminium company, and he gave a trade somewhere around over here, around 143. And he did, you must have made about 1.5 rupee per share since the time he gave you the trade. So that's a long-term investment, again, a swing kind of a trade. So if you made money on any of these trades, let us know, so we can know what you've been benefiting out of. So that was what happened today. An expiry play generally, massive call writing happening at the higher levels, put writing at the lower levels, continued, and as always in the expiry, it's always a very volatile event. And that's why we say, if you are an amateur in the market, try to be away from the markets. If you are an amateur and if you want to trade, shift to the further away expiries. That way you could be safe. That's why you see me and Himale, a lot of times we go to May expiries or the next week expiries. That way we are safe, because always remember, it's not about earning money every day. It's about safety in the market and not losing money. Not losing money is also earning money. No position is also a position. So keep these points in your mind when you go forward. So very option selling kind of a day. You went down, made a low, again went up about 150 points, again came down 100 points. So it was a massively volatile day. It was being witnessed in the open interest. Same was the case with Bank Nifty. It was much, much more volatile actually. You made a high, you opened around 33,950. You made a high of 400 points higher. You fell down about intraday 900 points. You fell from the highest. Then you again went up from 33,300 to about 600 points, 34,000. Then you again fell on 300 points. It was a very, very massively volatile day. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, generally, these are 2 days when markets tend to be sideways. And on Fridays or Mondays, they are good. They are expected to be good trending days. And today, some kind of a range has been given on Nifty Bank, as well as some kind of a range has been established on Nifty, which is going to help us in the coming days to decide what we need to do. So this was the intraday view. And out of the sectors, banking has been muted today. You know, we saw some profit booking today in banks, and that is on account of, and even in finance, it was flat. That's basically because we have seen a huge, tremendous rally in the banks and finance. And you all have already been in long positions. We already have given you long trades in the investment portfolio of yours. So even today, Bajaj Finance surprisingly again 4% up. So we are currently sitting on a good 25% profit on Bajaj Finance in 1 week. So if you are in that trade, hit the like button. That would mean a lot to us. If you're in any of the banking trades, hit the like button and let us know how many people are in the trade. Today, auto was down. So we saw banking down, finance down, auto down. We also saw FMCG muted. HUL was flattish because of the results. So we had a lot of movement in HUL because of results. Pharma starting to come up. Metal has been outstanding. No words for metals. You know, just 1 month back, Tata Steel was around 700, JSW around 400. It's already, you know, went up about 50% from those levels, 100% from those levels. So I have no words for metal. Whoever has been in the trade for the long term in perspective, you have been clocking in great returns. Do not book profits. Metals rally will be continuing. If you get any dip into metals, keep on buying, and please do not short metals. That's my request. Please do not think metals are overbought, because we are just at the bottom of, we are just seeing the top of the iceberg, and the bottom of the iceberg, the biggest rally in metal is still left. So just keep that point in mind. Do not short metals. If you get a good sizable dip in metals, try to buy that dip. So we also saw IT was muted. Oil and gas were fine. NTPC came down from yesterday's closing. Reliance was doing quite comfortably well. So it was doing fine. And consumption also was down. So we had a muted session today because of the expiry. A couple of things I want to share with you going forward is yesterday's Fed's comment were a non-event. Markets have not really reacted. American markets last night were down. I think they closed off the highs. Today morning, the futures were trading higher, but I would be comfortable in saying that Fed's the minutes, FOMC minutes, were a non-event in the market. Today, what's important to see is, first of all, today we will not see the data. We never see the data on expiry days, the derivative data. You can see the stock future and the index future data, but we will not be analyzing the call and put data, because due to the expiries, that data is never going to be properly understood by you. And it's also the monthly expiry, so a lot of adjustments have been done in that call put positions, right? So we will see what is the position. Although in the cash market, let us see if FIIs are buyers today, or have they again turned into sellers, because we did get some good profit booking at 130, 145. So let's see about that, what has really happened. We will be very, I am right now looking at a buy on dip market. I'll try to buy dips right now. I'm not so interested in buying a breakout as of right now, until the data tells me to do so. So if the FIIs do turn bullish, or if they are net buyers in the cash market, that's another confirmation for me that what I am preaching is actually doing fine. If I look at the dollar is also muted. It's also come down. I look at the daily chart of dollar. So dollar's been going down. That's another good thing for the bulls. Today, surprisingly, the US yields have come up a little bit. So that is one thing that we need to be careful about. The yields going higher. So the yields have considerably come up higher in the last couple of days. So just one thing that we need to keep a track of. If the yields start to go higher and higher, that will create pressure in the Indian markets in the coming days. So let's just keep a track on that. Now, a couple of very important things I want to share for the coming sessions, which I have actually, been looking at. Let me look at Nifty chart first. I'll open the 4-hour chart. So this is what I've been explaining. Let me just hide these trend lines that I've drawn on Nifty, so my analysis becomes crystal clear. So right now, if I look at the 4-hour chart, Nifty looks good. Nifty looks good. The reason I say that is because we have considerably closed. We opened higher, we gapped up, we went to 15,000, we touched that round number, we again fell down, and we fell down exactly to this level, to the gap. And we earlier, a couple of days back, I was expecting this gap to be filled and markets to come down, because not only the gap was being filled, it was also this trend line resistance coming. But now, because we have closed above that gap, we are closing above that trend line for last 8 hours. Now this gap becomes support, which is 14,800. So now the 14,800 mark is a crucial support. Even 14,880 is a crucial support. These are two very, very good supports. So 14,800 is actually a double confluence of supports right now. The reason I say that is because not only is it a horizontal support, but also a trend line support that is coming over here. Earlier resistance now turned into support. One interesting thing, as I said, is let us see, can we also stay above this trend line on Friday? That is going to be very, very crucial. I never want to jump the gun. I don't want to say that, we have closed above the trend line, let's go long. I need consistency. I need, the buyers to tell me again and again that we do not want to come down. Today was expiry, so no one knows what's the actual picture. But if tomorrow the buyers are staying up, if the buyers are keeping the market at the higher levels above 14,880 for the second day in a row, that would cement a move on the upside. If you talk about technically, again, these are not my targets. If you talk about technicals, we had a good, you can see a good parallel channel, a good range market going up, and this range was around 843 points. As per technicals, whenever a range breaks, the entire momentum on that range, the biggest distance, the biggest vertical distance in that range will be the target that opens up. So that actually turns out to be 15,660 levels. That's the level that has been opening up for Nifty. Now, that does not mean that we will achieve this in the next 15 days. That's not what I want to say. We do need a lot of additional confirmations, but this is the potential room that is opening up for Nifty as and when things get fine. So that is one target that you could be aiming for in the next, you would say, 2-3 months. That could be aimed for. I can show you what I mean by that. If I look at Reliance, I'll show a very good example. I think this was done a couple of months ago. Reliance was in a very good range. Yeah, so I'll show this very good example. Reliance was moving in this range, and this range, as you can see over here, from August to September, we were in a very tight range on Reliance, and this range was from 2,200 all the way till 2,000. So because of that, because of a 200-point range, when the breakout happened, markets will give the maximum vertical distance in that range as target, and that basically turned out to be nothing but, I think, 2,400. Yes, exactly 2,400. So a little bit 1-2 points below, but it does work. It's how technicals work. It's not I am giving some random targets, but what technicals are telling me. So now coming back to Nifty. So as per Nifty, what I want to observe now in the coming days is that, am I going to sustain above that for the next 1-2 days? If I am doing fine, and I will try to find dips, more dips, and I'll be buyer in those dips. And further on, then this will become our support. So even if markets try to come down, if they stay up tomorrow, then this area can turn out to be a good support. I also have a very, very strong support now at the region of 14,700. So we have two very, very strong supports coming in: 14,880, 14,800, 14,700. So keep these levels in mind. On the upside, the immediate target is 15,000, no doubt to that. But after that, we do have targets at 15,000, 150, 200 levels and further on. We'll come to that as and when we chop into the markets. But one very important thing is with Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is something very, very interesting that I found out today, which I actually found, stumbled upon. So Nifty, as you all know, it has already broken the trend line. The Nifty charts have already broken this 2-month long consolidation. Yes, it's also broken this like the last 3-4 months RSI resistance. We broke that. We also broke that 60 on RSI, and we're doing comfortable. So Nifty is looking strong. However, at the same time, if you look at Bank Nifty has not yet broken this trend line. That is something to be concerned about. And if you have been seeing my videos, I always put up a message in one of my earlier videos, and I said that banking stocks will not outperform this rally. And I think I want to stay with that. Yes, we have bought some banking stocks at 31,000 levels. We are sitting in a good 15-20% gains. But I believe that this time when the rally happens, whenever it happens, whenever we move towards the all-time highs, Goldman Sachs has a target of about 16,000 odd numbers, I think, for December. I think 6,500 or something. I'll tell you, it's on our Instagram already. But when this rally towards the all-time highs happen, I do not believe that the banking stocks, will also go to the all-time highs. I think they will be a little muted, is what I'm saying. Yes, we will come up. Obviously, we need banking and financials to come up, but it's not going to be like the previous days. It will be a little bit muted. Other sectors like metals and the other companies could outperform. So we will give you updates as and when we proceed, but just something out of my head that I wanted to cover. See, in Nifty Bank, we had a resistance over here around 16 Feb. We fell from here. We also had resistance over here. We also had over here. So if 2 or 3 points are touching, this was the exact area. So I was very foolish enough to not actually see this chart earlier on because I wasn't trading in the index. So I was not looking at the chart so vigorously on the index. But we have exactly today stopped here. And this is again a double resistance. Why am I saying that? Is because not only do we have a trend line resistance, but also we have a good static horizontal support earlier turned into a resistance. So we have a lot of pressure. And today, Bank Nifty has given you on the 4-hour chart a spinning top. And this spinning top has a 1,000-point range. This tells me that in the next couple of days, banking may be not the sector that I want to be in. On the intraday basis, you know what to do. Obviously, on the intraday basis, we know what to do. That if the market breaks this kind of a trend line, we can go long. If it goes down, we can go short. Again, that's all scalping, and I believe all of you are aware of that. The reason you come to my videos is to get an overall view of a positional of a view. So on an intraday basis, we already have this trend line coming in. We have some trend line coming in. So whichever side that breaks, you can see a momentum in that. And on the scalping basis, we also have very good resistance over here. So if that breaks, we will get a momentum towards 34,300. That is fine. But what I want to explain right now is if I look at the daily chart, I've got a very big spinning top. And whenever we get a spinning top, basically this means that unless until you break either of the sides of that spinning top, you are going to be sideways, what we call inside candles. And that's the biggest problem. I hope, earlier what used to happen was on expiries, I don't know what these dates are, but when we get these dojis, they are very small size dojis and the next day gaps up above them and you can continue the momentum. You can continue aggressive momentum. But the problem is if you are within the range of this candle, you can't be an aggressive trader. If you are an aggressive trader, you will get trapped. Because right now, again, both the forces of demand and supply are active. On the upside, there are sellers who are active because this is nothing. 34,350 is nothing but the last line of defense for sellers. So everyone will have stop loss over there. If you're a seller, everyone has to have stop loss over there. At the same time, everyone who's a buyer will have stop loss below this at 33,200 levels. So unless until either of these levels are triggered, you will be remaining stuck. You will be facing pressure on both the sides. So if you see earlier examples, so you can see over here, as in when, this doji is, if you have a doji or an indecisive bar, if the next day remains within that, you cannot be an aggressive trader, which could mean that the next couple of days could be sideways. Another example over here, that's the best example I could give you. We had a very big doji on the chart, and that is why the next couple of days, as long as the range was maintained, you didn't do anything. So the next 4-5 days went sideways for Bank Nifty. That is something which I'm trying to explain. And the moment we broke this range, the sellers covered because the stop loss was hit and you got an aggressive buying. So what I am trying to say is this is what you have to observe. Again, I'm saying in Bank Nifty, forget intraday. If you are a scalper, good for you, continue that. But if you are a person who wants to make 200-300 points on Bank Nifty, because that's happening right now, try to reduce quantity for the next couple of days, unless until we break this range, because that's going to be difficult. So this is something that we need to worry about. And unless until the range does not break, I will not be aggressive on Bank Nifty, number one. Number two, I'm expecting some sideways momentum on Bank Nifty. Number three, I will not be adding any stocks for investment on Bank Nifty because of this thing, what I'm teaching you. So if I'll show you one last example, earlier when we got this sideways candle, when the next day broke above that, you can see this example over here on 26th April, we did get a sideways bar. And when the next day closed above that, aggressive buying came. But unless until that does not break, aggressive buying will not come. So just keep that point in mind. So let's say, what's the maximum consolidation that can happen? You all know Bank Nifty is something that does not want to stay silent. It's an instrument, I think the most volatile instrument in India right now, and it moves what 1,000 points every day from the high or low. So my understanding is, let's say worst case scenario, generally consolidation maximum could go for 3 days. That's something I take a number, because after 3 days the either party, they do become active. It could again, by the way, the consolidation could break tomorrow as well. If let's say because of some news, markets open gap down somewhere and they break this, then consolidation breaks, you become a seller. And if let's say markets open gap up and they break that, then you become a great buyer. So, but unless until that does not make, you don't do anything. Maximum consolidation that could happen is if you stay in this triangle. That's the maximum. So which basically turns out to be maximum 18th May. But I don't think that's going to happen. So you can rule that out, just out there. So just keep these points in mind. And I think even in financial services, we have got a good doji, which I'll just show you right now. Yes, even in finance, we have got a doji. And I think that's the HDFC Bank chart, sorry. So even in HDFC Bank, something very, very important. HDFC Bank chart has also, I think, taken this trend line resistance. That is something concerning. That is something concerning, not very good for the bulls. It could be broken, but unless until that is not broken, let's not be aggressive buyers, is what I'm saying. Try to shift to other sectors, be stock specific, or go to Nifty and try to trade that. A couple of other sectors that are looking good. Automobile, let's see what's automobile doing. Today, automobiles given a good, sorry, it's Bajaj Auto. Today, I think automobile has given a good bearish candle. So that is something I would not prefer to go on the long side. This is what I call rule of two. We had this trend line resistance. Markets tried to come up one day. The other day they came below. So again, this turns into a selling momentum, because now aggressive buying cannot happen unless until unless until 10,000 level is broken. So if that is broken, then only aggressive buying start. Otherwise, sellers have started to dominate. So again, auto is not looking very good for investment. I did tell you a couple of, I think yesterday, that I want to go long on Hero Moto, but I am not doing so right now. Because why? I have again entered the range. Again, rule of two. One day I closed above, the other day I went down. So I'm again back in the range. So I am not interested in auto right now. Even Bajaj Auto, you must be in good profit. I think if you bought Bajaj Auto with me somewhere over here, I think we bought, you must be in a good 7% gain. If you are not comfortable with holding a position, it's a good place you could book profit. If the lows tomorrow of 3,800 are broken, you could exit and book partial profit. If I look at FMCG, I think something interesting is happening in FMCG. This can come in focus in the coming days. Why I say that is because we have a very good trend line support coming in from 30th October, etc., etc. So if this trend line support is intact, then this place becomes a very good place to buy FMCG. However, if this support is broken, then we can go short, because then we will have no other supports till 33,000 also. That's a good 1,000-point fall that we can see in FMCG. But for that, we will have to wait for 33 around 650 levels to be broken. Otherwise, what we should hope for is that it should become support. If it does not, then we can also look for the short side. Pharma is doing fine. It could start to become pharma days. If the markets become sideways, then IT, pharma, FMCG, then they can come into focus, because a lot of money will be coming into banks. Metal is doing great. I have no comments on metal. It's been absolutely stunning. You are overbought on metals, but that does not matter. IT, IT has also come under pressure. It's already fallen a lot. If I see the percentage fall that we've seen, we've already fallen about 7 to 8% on the IT stocks. Again, I am a person, I always tell people, don't short IT. IT is not a sector that we go short on, because this is one sector. There is some bad news, it falls down, but it goes up higher than anyone else. It goes up faster on the highs than anyone else. I can show one very good example. If you look at the chart of NASDAQ, this is one very, very good example that I want to explain, which I think that you will benefit out of. I'll show you the chart of NASDAQ, currency gom, NASDAQ 100. See the chart of NASDAQ. When the coronavirus crash happened, right? IT really plunged, everything plunged. But you have to see the pace with which IT companies went up. You also, the all-time high on NASDAQ was 97.34, and you reached that all-time high again in June. Please note that. However, if I open S&P 500, if I open S&P 500, you will see that this level was not, or let's say I open Dow. Let me open Dow Jones, DJIA, Dow Jones, I don't know what's the ticker now, holdings. Okay. So if I open Dow Jones, you'll see this US 30. We recovered for NASDAQ, we recovered from the lows to back to the highs by June. If you see the chart of Dow Jones, you can see that the all-time highs were not even touched till this date in November. Till November, you were not even touching all-time highs, whereas NASDAQ had already touched all-time high in June. What I'm saying is, I am not a person who goes short on IT, unless until something like a bubble burst, which does burst after about 5-10 years, but not right now. So I'm not a person who wants to take a shot on IT. So going forward, what all sectors do we have? We have metals, IT, oil and gas, something could be in focus. I have told you already, keep a track of this. We have also gone long on NTPC, not really performed today. It was at 105, gave a good profit, but not something I was looking for. So if you see the charts of Nifty Energy, the top constituent is Reliance, followed by Power Grid and NTPC. You can see we have broken out. We have sustained above this gap, and now we have taken support. So as long as this support is taken, I think we are fine. 18,000 levels maintained, we are fine. And we should start to continue towards highs. And this will be triggered by what crude oil is doing and what Reliance is doing. So let's keep a track on that. And finally, we have Nifty consumption. Nifty consumption also very muted. I think we are still into consolidation in Nifty consumption. Nothing really is happening on Nifty consumption. So as long as this consolidation remains, you know what to do: buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. So that's about the entire sectoral view, what I think about the markets going forward. I am in a buy on dip stance right now. So is the team. But if we do get any sellings, we will let you know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you feel in the comments. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and share with your friends. And thank you so much, guys, for touching 10,000 subscribers. We've already touched 10,000 plus subscribers. That's a blessing for us. We're honored and we're thankful to each and every one of you, because what we are today is because of the support that we get from you guys. So thank you so much. We're very, very grateful. Bye.